All right, Eagle Nation, another solid day of practice in the books. A lot of guys fighting those final positional battles, but I believe one or two players may have just secured their spot on this roster in 2024. Is it the right decision? We'll talk about all that and more. But of course, welcome into A to Z Philly. I'm RB, and we cover the Eagles every day. So do me a favor, if you do enjoy this video at the end, go down below, hit that like button for me, and subscribe to the channel. Stay up to date with us all year long. Now, I want to talk about something that came out yesterday, and honestly, it's got me fired up. It has me fired up to do this video because Saquon Barkley, Jalen Hurts, they had the mic'd up behind-the-scenes coverage coming out on the Eagles page, and Saquon Barkley says to Jalen Hurts, "Do you think you're fearless?" And Jalen responds by saying, "Yeah, absolutely. Shouldn't be ish to fear when you done already put the work in. I come ready." Man, if you go listen to this exchange, it has me fired up. These guys, the chemistry, it's already looking a lot better than last year. And man, what a response from Jalen Hurts, right? He relied on his faith and just his ability to go out there and lead these guys. He's becoming a better leader. This isn't some rookie. This is Saquon freaking Barkley asking him this question, and just a great job by Jalen Hurts. But ladies and gentlemen, can you believe that these guys and the rest of the squad are going to be playing a preseason game this week? It is already here. We are crawling right back into it. And my question of the day to Eagle Nation, how many touchdowns do you think these three players combined are going to have this season? Drop your comments down below. Give me a prediction. Saquon, AJ, and DeVonta. Like if I threw a number out, 20 and a half, would you go over or under that? I think they're going over. I mean, honestly, and then when you start to think about Saquon's usage on this offense, especially given that he's a multifaceted player, right? He's going to be versatile. He can catch passes out of the backfield. You think about all the ways he's going to help this team out. AJ and DeVonta are surefire studs, probably going to go over 1,000 yards each and catch a lot of touchdowns this year with a more creative Kell Moore offense. I think, honestly, they're going over 20, combine all three of them. Is that a crazy take? Let me know your thoughts down below. But we start off with a practice update today. In terms of the depth chart, a lot of guys fighting for those final couple slots. We'll get to some video clips and things like that. But it's important to note who's out there on the field. Isaiah Rodgers got CB2 job today. He was on the first team duties. And it says it was his third straight day, fourth overall day, where Isaiah Rodgers has been CB2, whereas Kelee Ringo's now at 3. So it still seems like it's a fight. It's still a battle here as we head into preseason game number 1. Who will get the nod? I'm starting to think it's going to be Isaiah Rodgers, but who knows? Right now, Quinyon Mitchell still starting at the slot corner. A lot of people are opposed to this. A lot of people also think it could be a unique way to innovate and get him involved. Could Quinyon Mitchell just become this slot corner? I don't know, but you draft him in the first round, you invest in him. Why not let him go out there and learn different positions and try to get on the field from day one? I'm not mad at it. And if he's doing a good job, which it appears that he is, let him continue to rock. Same thing at linebacker for today, Zach Ball and Devin White. Those seem to be the two that are starting to get locked in. A little more on that later. Let's flip it over to the offensive side. Jalen Hurts with a little warm-up clip here. Just going through some drills. Shout out to Chris Franklin. Like I said, I want to give credit to everybody throwing these videos out there because they do a great job. And obviously, I'm not there to get footage myself. But Jalen Hurts working on a couple throws across the body, drills like that. Jalen Hurts getting a lot of different looks out there, under center, then in the gun, handing it off, play action. They're doing so many different things. And I just think it's going to help the overall evolution of this offense. I think Kell Moore came in here probably hearing as a rival, about a bunch of the things that the Eagles did not do, right? Even though he wasn't in the division last year, like he probably heard, damn, like this Eagles team has a lot of offensive talent. Why are they not doing anything to be creative? And I think he's coming in, implementing a lot of new looks and just getting these guys involved in different ways. I really like what Kell Moore has done so far with this offense. Sure, it is a work in progress, but it already seems to be a lot more innovative than last year. Nick Sirianni says that Jalen Hurts has done an outstanding job. He continues to lead through the way he works. He's continued to lead through his communication, with his teammates and bringing them along. We continue to see these clips come out and surface. And yeah, Jalen Hurts is taking more of that leadership role. He's probably hearing all the noise as well in the media. I'm sure he is, right? And then, it seems like over this past offseason, all they've done is try to find ways to create drama and controversy. And he's saying, nah, I'm not having any of it. I am a leader. I'm going to go out there and put this team on my back. And I love that mentality. Nick also says that the practice this past Thursday, which again was absolutely incredible, and we made a video about that with the open practice with 50,000 fans out there, was valuable, though, for him, Kell Moore, and Vic Fangio to get experience coaching together in a game like scrimmage, right? And, when the pads come out and when the bright lights are on and you're in between those lines, hey, man, you got to make something happen. And, you can't let the pressure get to you. You have to be able to rely on each other. Nick Sirianni, Vic Fangio, and Kell Moore, have to get used to these type of situations. So I'm glad that they had that experience. And with the preseason coming up, we will finally get to see it in full action against another team. But I want to talk about one player on the offensive side who is emerging. And honestly, I did not expect this. I think he just secured a roster spot. You might not guess who it is, but it's Britton Covey. Okay, Elliott Shore-Parks reports here that Covey had an awesome diving catch today from Jalen Hurts. He says, I don't think any player has helped their stock more or looked more improved than Covey. And here's the little wrinkle in terms of why I think Covey is going to make the roster. How many receivers are you going to keep? 5, 6? I don't know. Covey can fulfill multiple roles, right? He's probably not going to be one of the receivers you throw out there maybe once in a blue moon, but the whole kick return thing, right? He has been trained. He's now being nurtured to be that guy, to find those little wrinkles and to try to give the Eagles an advantage. And we already heard special teams coach Michael Clay talking about that as well. If the Eagles can get Covey to really just work on that aspect and be almost like that utility man, but even if he can come out here, if somebody goes down and catch a few passes, he's making himself valuable to the team. And apparently, according to the reporters, Britton Covey has had an excellent training camp. Obviously, he's undersized, right? He probably is not going to ever be big enough to play on the outside. But this is what guys do who want to extend their careers and make themselves a asset of some type, right? Make themselves worthy. He's finding ways to impact here in training camp. And honestly, I think Britton Covey's going to make the team. And coming into training camp, I can guarantee you, I did not feel confident about that. But right now, he is apparently on fire. And another guy who is really making some strides here is Johnny Wilson. This is about the second or third, maybe fourth straight practice where he has gotten reps with the first team. 6th-round pick, not a lot of huge expectations, but you come in, you're 6'6", you're a huge target, and you can be very valuable to this team down in the red zone, right? They tried to do this last year with Julio Jones. Now they have an offensive coordinator who's probably actually going to use all of his weapons, and that could leave a Johnny Wilson out route wide open in the end zone. So I think Johnny Wilson, based on what we have heard, is going to make this team. I think he's going to be a useful red zone target, and I think he's actually going to produce more than we may have expected when he was drafted late by the Philadelphia Eagles. So buy your Johnny Wilson stock right now. He continues to get reps with the first team. I think those two have really had their stock increase here over the past week or two. Now, I want to talk about DeVonta Smith because we know he's established. Here's one of those DeVonta drills where you just look at it and you're like, wow, this guy's incredible. Like ESP says, he is really insanely fast at this. And then ESP also reports that Hurts had a big, deep throw to DeVonta today. Couldn't have placed it any better. Great catch by DeVonta. Obviously, we don't have the clip yet, but a little bit more analysis on this. Victor Williams says Jalen Hurts hit a perfect pass to DeVonta downfield, but Smith motioned to the slot. Keep that in mind. Pre-snap motion. Kellen has been studying Alabama Smitty tape, and again, you got to get these guys in mismatches, and you have to move them around before the snap. Eagles never did that, and they're just going to be a lot more creative going forward. And if you can do things like this and get that one-on-one action where DeVonta's just probably going to beat his man and he has surefire hands, I mean, you're just putting yourselves in a really good position. You're setting yourself up for success as an offense. I really don't have many questions right now about this offense, but I do have a few about the defense. And as I said earlier, it seems like Zach Bond has already made the team and is going to be the starter at linebacker next to Devin White. Not sure how confident I feel about that, given that he really has not, blossomed into much of a starter in his career. But Brendan Deek here says that Sirianni was hyping up Zach Bond today, saying, quote, his motor with how he strikes blocks. This guy is a tough dude that plays with great detail and physicality. They seem to be all in on him to be the starter next to Devin White. And then we have a little back and forth here where Brooks Cabina says Nakobe Dean continues to look a tad behind in coverage, which, is probably more the reason that they are so high on Zach Bond. I'm just not as confident in Zach Bond being that day one starter for this team because, again, he's been in the league, 4 years now? Like, he has had opportunities to kind of evolve into that role, and he's been more of a special teams guy. I'm not saying he can't do it. I love the motor. I love the mentality, but we have seen as Eagle fans, right, the linebacker position just be unacknowledged and really kind of just be ignored in some ways. And then we get into week 5, week 6, and we're having issues tackling and covering and things like that. And we're saying, damn, man, we need more versatile linebackers. We need guys who can do more, and it's just not it. So I hope they have a contingency plan, but right now, it seems to be Zach Bond and Devin White stealing the show. DeVonta Smith said that today was his first day going up against Quinyon, especially in the slot, and he told him, quote, my route was trash. So Quinyon Mitchell smack-talking A.J. Brown. He's smack-talking DeVonta Smith. I love this guy's mentality as a rookie, but those are all my thoughts. Give me yours down below in the comment section. As always, appreciate everybody for tapping in. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Also, real quick, let's go ahead and give a shout out to our sponsor of today's video. It is the great BetMGM. Enjoy all your favorite sports like never before at BetMGM. Sign up using our code ATOZPA and get up to $1,000 back in bonus bets if you do not win your first bet. When you register with BetMGM, you'll get instant access to parlays, live bets, player props, and daily boosted odds specials. And with BetMGM at your fingertips, every play and every game matter more than ever. So go ahead and find out why BetMGM is the king of sportsbooks. Sign up today with the bonus code ATOZPA and get up to $1,000 back in bonus bets if you do not win your first bet. Visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions.